Hi, I'm William,
And I'm Kat,
and that makes this Info on the Go.
answering questions you want to know.
So, Kat, I have a question for you before I try to set this up. Have you ever heard of a figure in time called Jack the Ripper?
Yeah, I knew that he went around killing people in London.
Yeah, was never caught either, right?
Nope.
Well, we're not talking about him today.
Dang.
Instead, let's rewind the clock to 1837 when another shadowy figure began terrorizing London, not with a blade, but with a fiery breath, glowing eyes, and unearthly leaps over rooftops. His name, Spring Hill Jack. He was a creature of lore who soared into Victorian folklore with supernatural flair. More than 50 years later, Jack the Ripper, like we were talking about, he carved his own character into London's darkest, haunting Whitechapel with real blood and real horror. But while both figures prowled the same foggy streets, they emerged from different eras of dread. One was an urban legend wrapped in mystery, and the other a flesh and blood killer whose identity still, well, remains unsolved.
And it's almost as if London hosted a never-ending lineup of nightmares. And if you're ready, I'll introduce you to one who preferred rooftops to alleys and left behind footprints no one could catch.
Hmm. London, 1837. A young woman walks through the fog-drenched streets of Blackheath, her footsteps echoing against the cobblestones.
The mist curls around her like a shroud, and the faint glow of gas lamps offers little comfort.
Suddenly, out of the darkness, a figure springs onto a wall with impossible agility. Cloaked in black, eyes blazing red, fingertips tipped with metallic claws, kind of like Freddy Krueger here. And he emits a chilling laugh before leaping over rooftops into the night.
Hey, wait, I didn't think there was an Elm Street there. Was it a demon?
Could it be a madman with some kind of mechanical contraption?
Or something else entirely?
Yeah, so this eerie encounter marked the beginning of the legend of Spring Hill Jack, an enigmatic figure who terrorized Victorian England with supernatural speed, monstrous features, and gravity-defying leaps.
Let's delve into the origins of this terrifying urban myth, peeling back the layers of sightings, suspicions, and public hysteria.
Yeah, so we'll kind of walk through a timeline of his most notorious appearances, and we'll unpack the theories surrounding the identity, explore the cultural impact he left behind, and examine why he continues to haunt imaginations to this day.
From sensational newspaper reports to modern reinterpretations in comics and media, the legacy of Spring Hill Jack endures as a testament to society's fascination with the unknown.
So tighten your cloak, watch the rooftops, and prepare for a mystery that's anything but grounded. I can be punny too.
Spring Heel Jack first sprang, quite literally, into the public's consciousness in London, 1837.
Yeah, that year marked the earliest reports of a bizarre figure leaping onto rooftops and startling along um, pedestrians with supernatural flair.
His appearance was nothing short of terrifying. Witnesses described a tail-cloaked man with glowing red eyes, clawed hands made of metal, and, in some accounts, the ability to spit blue flames from his mouth.
All right, so dang, we done added another characteristic here.
Mm-hmm.
One particular infamous sighting came from a young woman named Jane Alsop, who claimed that Jack knocked on her door, posing as a police officer, then attacked her with his clawed fingers and fire-like breath.
Her testimony was graphic and detailed, shocking the public and stirring fear across London's neighborhoods.
Yeah, and as sightings multiplied over the next months, well, so did the speculation.
Some said he was a ghost.
Yeah, and others insisted he was a maniac armed with hidden springs and metal armor.
The press leapt at the opportunity to feed public frenzy. Not the press.
No,
Never the press.
not yellow journalism. No.
Mm-mm.
Victorian newspapers printed sensational headlines and dramatic illustrations of the figure, which kind of ignited a wide-scale panic and intense curiosity. It's the reason why we're talking about him today, right?
Absolutely. Spring-Heeled Jack quickly became a household name, whispered about in taverns and debated in drawing rooms.
The Lord Mayor of London received letters claiming multiple attacks, prompting even officials to acknowledge this mysterious menace.
Yet, despite the public outcry and official attention, no arrest was ever made, and the true identity of Spring-Heeled Jack remained as elusive as his rooftop landings.
You can be bunny too,
Hmm.
huh? His legend was born not from the sightings themselves, but from how swiftly and dramatically he captured the imagination of an entire city. He was blurring the line between folklore and front page news.
As Spring-Heeled Jack's reputation grew, so did the speculation.
Was he a genuine flesh and blood menace, something supernatural, or merely the creation of a widespread panic and tales?
Theories abounded across Victorian England, each offering a widely different explanation.
On one end, believers swore Jack was demonic. His glowing red eyes, clawed hands, and fire-breathing tendencies, they just seemed to be too monstrous to be human, right?
Hmm. Ghost stories and Gothic beliefs of the era lent themselves to this interpretation, with many convinced that Jack was the devil incarnate stalking London's foggy streets.
Yet, skeptics pointed to more mundane possibilities, a hoax carried out by thrill-seeking pranksters.
Among the most prominent suspects was Henry de la Poer Beresford, the Marquis of Waterford, a wealthy nobleman with a well-documented history of drunken escapades and troublemaking. Not drunken escapades from a nobleman.
Well, I mean, I don't
Gasp.
being drunk. I don't think he's gonna be. Well, I get the fiery breath there, but I don't know if he's gonna be leaping rooftops. He might be stumbling over them.
I don't
Uh,
know. There's some people out there that get wild when they drink. They just can't hold their liquor right.
yeah. He would. Well, I guess you become 10 feet tall and bulletproof at that point.
Mm-hmm,
Okay. He was known for his contemptuous behavior toward women and law enforcement. And the rumors kind of started to swirl that he had both the motive and the means to create a persona um, that was designed to terrify.
Not a bored, drunken nobleman. Some even suggested he had access to experimental equipment that allowed him to make those infamous rooftop leaps, possibly involving springs, stilts, or custom footwear.
So the timing of his departure from England in the early 1840s kind of aligns with a noticeable decline in jack sightings, um, which only added fuel to the fire or just kind of spanned this theory, right?
Hmm. So if Henry de la Poer Beresford was Spring-Heeled Jack, that makes him the Bruce Wayne of Victorian chaos. Except instead of saving Gotham, he terrorized London with high jumps and bad manners.
That's too funny. That was pretty good, Kat. You got me with that one. So, all right. So, my turn now. So, forget about the Batman. Forget about the Batmobile. This guy probably had a horse named Spring Strike and a utility belt full of gin and, well, questionable decisions.
Honestly, if Batman's origin story included prank assaults, flaming breath, and stilts, we'd be living in a very different comic universe.
We would be living in a very different comic universe. So, beyond individual suspects, sociologists and psychologists have offered another lens, mass hysteria.
Not mass hysteria in Victorian London.
No, not.
Never. So, Victorian London was a place simmering with anxiety about crime, moral decline, and industrial change.
So Jack may have simply embodied these fears, a phantom projected into the alleyways by some collective imaginations.
Public anxiety, exaggerated press reports, and suggestible minds could have created a feedback loop where belief fed the legend and vice versa.
Still, the question of how Jack achieved his gravity-defying jumps, well, it still kind of continues to puzzle us.
Could technology from the time explain his feats?
Yeah, leaping mechanisms existed. Spring-loaded boots, tightrope skills, even rudimentary acrobatics, but none proven to be capable of superhuman stunts attributed, well, or that what Jack had, right?
Hmm. Perhaps he had assistance, or perhaps it was an illusion, aided by darkness and frightened minds.
So whether it's truth or theories, Spring Hill Jack it just kind of explodes through history as this whatever it is, right?
Hmm. Real or imagined, prankster or demon, he remains a symbol of fear, fascination, and the fine line between reality and myth. William, I think we should take a sponsor break.
Sure, sounds good to me. All right, so now that we're back, as Spring Hill Jack's escapades ignited fears across Victorian London, newspapers seized the moment with a voracious appetite for sensation because yellow journalism sells.
Headlines splashed across broadsheets, painted lurid pictures of a demonic figure terrorizing women, leaping impossibly across rooftops and vanishing into foggy alleyways.
So I have a question for you. Don't you feel like the news kind of helped fuel this myth? Or do
When would news ever help fear, help mass hysteria? What
yeah,
when
I mean,
what?
you got to think of the time too. So these
Well, they had
stories,
nothing else better to do but then wait on the news. Okay, there wasn't any radio, there was no TV, there was just what was in the paper.
well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, if you're writing this story, I mean, it's going to help you sell some headlines, and I mean, the headlines are going to help you sell some newspapers, um, and maybe it's a good little story to kind of keep up with, whether you believe it or not. So these stories weren't just informative; they were theatrical. You know, journalists dramatized witness accounts with flair. You know, kind of blurring the line between what was credible and what was really fantasy, right?
Hmm. Not dramatization either.
No,
Never. All right, the burgeoning market for cheap serialized fiction fed off this frenzy. Penny dreadfuls, popular among working class youth, devoted entire issues to Jack's terrifying antics, embellishing his deeds with supernatural twists and narrative flair.
the tabloids of the time.
Ooh.
Yeah. So so these tales kind of help mold Jack into something that was more than a mere criminal. He became a legend.
Interestingly enough, Spring-Heeled Jack began to straddle two cultural roles. On one hand, he was the Gothic villain and embodiment of Victorian fears surrounding crime, the unknown, and moral decay.
On the other hand, he represented a proto superhero archetype, a mysterious figure with exaggerated powers, a striking persona, and an ability to evade capture. So really, he was the Batman of the time, right?
Batman, yeah. Spring-Heeled Jack.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Spring Hill Jack.
Right. Oh, his agility and dramatic flair made him oddly charismatic to some. A thrilling anti-hero in an age where rigid societal norms left little room for such rebellious figures.
Yeah. In literature, Jack's influence rippled through the growing fascination with monsters, detectives, and vigilantes.
Writers explored the tension between chaos and control, often using characters like Jack to reflect the psychological and societal anxieties of the time.
Yeah, so the fear he incited mirrored concerns about urbanization, class unrest, and the limits of law enforcement.
Class unrest and limited law enforcement never.
It sounds a lot like Batman, just on the other side of the fence.
The other side of the water.
No, Batman.
Victorian attitudes toward the supernatural were steeped in belief and dread. Ghosts, demons, the occult, stories weren't just entertainment. They were taken seriously.
Yeah, so Jack's legend kind of found fertile ground in this landscape. It was evolving from newsprint menace to folklore figure.
Ultimately, Spring Hill Jack was not just a product of public panic. He was shaped by a cultural engine hungry for drama.
Yeah, so the
Never.
no, not drama.
What? Not hungry for drama, not people. What?
Yeah, well, I mean, think about it. It's the time.
Like I said, they had nothing else better to do.
Yeah, so his myth grew because people really needed it, right? So whether it was a cautionary tale or a thrill ride or a mirror of their own fears,
Right?
people needed Jack, right?
Absolutely. And once born into the imagination, Jack refused to vanish, leaping eternally between shadows and headlines.
Yeah, so Spring Hill Jack didn't disappear into the fog of history. Instead, he leapt into the cultural imagination and he never looked back.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey, Kat, Old Glory, they've been operating since 1969 and they have over 300,000 items to choose from.
Wow. So we're talking like music or what are we talking about?
We're talking about music, sports, and pop culture gear. And we're not just talking about modern day stuff either. We're talking about bands like the Beatles, Metallica. They have hoodies, tees, gifts, and so much more.
Wow. Do they also do those old nostalgia TV shows?
Not just the TV shows, but the movies as well. And if you know that sports fan, they got you covered there too.
That's exciting. Do we have an exclusive code?
Absolutely, we do. It's called InfoGo. So check it out at oldglory.com. Use our code to get an exclusive 15% off. Don't forget, that's InfoGo, oldglory.com, or just click the link in the show notes.
Hey, William, do you get too hot at night?
Are you kidding? We live in Georgia.
Oh, right. Okay, me too. But I found the site cozyearth.com where they make bamboo bedding. It's cooling, breathable, and buttery soft.
Tell me more.
Well, they have a 100-night free trial and a 10-year warranty. And there's also free shipping on orders $50 and above.
Tell me you got an exclusive offer for our listeners.
Absolutely. There's 41% off site-wide with our code INFOGO. And remember, that's cozyearth.com.
Yeah, so make sure you use our code InfoGo at checkout to get that 41% off.
His eerie mystique and signature acrobatics proved irresistible to creators across decades.
Yeah, so he's been in comic books. He's been depicted as everything from a Victorian vigilante to a monstrous villain, a caped figure straddling the line between hero and terror.
Novelists have reimagined him in genres ranging from horror to steampunk, often placing him in gaslit alleyways or alternate realities.
What is steampunk?
I understand what it means, but I'm not sure how to explain it to you. So let me see what Google says.
Yeah, let's talk about steampunk.
Steampunk is a subgenre of speculative fiction that combines Victorian era aesthetics and technology with retro futuristic elements, often featuring steam powered machinery, clockwork, and goggles.
Okay. Well, you threw that in on me. I wasn't sure what that meant. So video games have summoned Jack as on NPC, boss or playable character. Each version has embodied the agility, mystery, and menace.
And for those who don't know, NPC means non-playable character. What kind of games do you play? Do you play role-playing games?
Yeah, kind of like Red Dead.
Kind of, kind of. I'm thinking more like Skyrim.
No, I only have two games I played, Red Dead and Fortnite. Oh, and Farming Simulator.
That's three games.
Yeah, but I don't really play Fortnite. It's mainly just Red Dead and Farming Simulator. Red Dead ruined my. Let's finish this up.
I recommend Skyrim.
Skyrim,
Yes.
what is it about?
You are a, well, you can pick between different classes of characters, and you're a dragonborn, and you have to travel through the world of Tamriel to do quests, and you can either be an Imperial or a Stormcloak. It's two different factions in this. It's really in depth. There's lots of different kinds of quest lines you can do.
All right, I'll check it out.
These portrayals keep evolving, reshaping the legend to match modern fears and fantasies.
So Jack is more than just entertainment. Jack has become a symbol, right?
hmm To some, he represents rebellion, a lone figure defying authority, evading capture, and steering social unease.
To others, he's a manifestation of fear itself, an unpredictable intruder with really no clear motive, and always watching from the rooftops. Ooh.
His leap across centuries reflects our fascination with the unknown, with the thrill of what lies just beyond rational explanation.
So whether he's treated as an anti-hero, a monster or myth, Spring Hill Jack remains a cultural shapeshifter, an echo of Victorian anxiety that still resonate in today's tales of the uncanny.
hmm Though the sightings of Spring Hill Jack dwindled after the mid 19th century, his legend never fully vanished.
Even decades later, scattered reports emerged in places like Liverpool and Surrey, with witnesses describing similar agile, shadowy figures leaping unnaturally through urban landscapes.
Now, these modern echoes blur the line between genuine accounts and the propagation of folklore, suggesting that Jack had transcended reality to become something more symbolic.
Yet he lives not because people keep seeing him, but because the idea of Jack endures. A spectral figure who bridges old world mystery with modern day myth making.
Now, in today's world, Jack has found kindred spirits in other enigmatic legends.
Yeah. He shares eerie traits with Mothman, Slender Man, and the Shadow People. Unexplained appearances, sinister vibes, and the enduring internet presence.
I used to have dreams about shadow people.
Yeah, that don't really bother me.
Mm,
You know what bothers me?
hmm.
Snakes. I can't stand snakes.
Snakes don't bother me.
I am
Roaches bother
super
me.
I am super terrified of snakes.
You grew up on a farm and you're scared of snakes?
I am scared of snakes. I can deal with almost anything but a snake.
All right, I'll handle the snakes, you handle the roaches, okay?
I'll handle everything else other than the snakes.
I'll handle the snakes. I got you.
Yeah. Reptiles
uh,
in general.
really?
Um, just mainly snakes. I'm not fond of snakes. Now there is one living in my yard somewhere. He is a king snake. I refuse to kill him because I know he's a good one, but I just don't want to see him.
As long as you don't mess with him, he won't mess with you. Like Jack, these figures tend to emerge during times of cultural tension, each reflecting collective fears in exaggerated shadowy forms.
Yeah, so Mothman surfaced before a tragedy. Slender Man was born from digital storytelling. Jack exploded in an era of rapid industrial change.
Together, these characters form a lineage of cryptic archetypes that society summon when the unknown world feels unstable or incomplete.
So Jack's enduring legacy hints at something deeper, um, a human craving for mystery. I would agree with. I think people crave hit mysteries.
hmm hmm The satisfaction of figuring it out at the end.
Yeah, or thinking that you figured it out in the end.
Right. His story reveals how society, especially in uncertain times, creates or amplifies myths to explain what defies understanding.
Yeah, so we've kind of touched on that a couple of times here in our October episodes.
Hmm.
Legends like Jack offer catharsis and thrill. So they allow us to confront chaos through a character that's kind of really out of reach.
In this way, Spring Hill Jack isn't just a Victorian boogeyman. He's a timeless reflection of our need for intrigue, fear, and the belief that maybe, just maybe, something unknown is out there watching and leaping over rooftops.
Victorian Boogeyman. Man, we really missed the title for this one. Should have been Spring Hill Jack, a Victorian Boogeyman.
Hmm.
Oh man. So was Spring Hill Jack real, lore, myth, or legend? Perhaps maybe he's all of the above. His existence was really never proven, yet his presence was undeniably felt. And he frightened witnesses, sensationalized headlines, to eerie tales passed down through generations.
Whether he was a mischievous nobleman with a flair for theatrics, or a supernatural entity haunting Victorian streets, or simply a reflection of society's fears and fantasies,
Yeah, Spring Hill Jack became more than just a man. He really became a symbol.
a myth with claws, like Freddy, if you will.
I like it. A legend with spring-loaded boots.
A mystery still leaping through the shadows of our imagination.
And in the end, maybe it's not about who he was, but why we still talk about him today.
Well, thanks for hopping along with us.
You have to be punny, don't you?
Mhm.
Have you ever heard of Spring Hill Jack before this?
No.
I hadn't either, and I don't really remember where I got this idea from.
Well, I enjoyed it. This was nice.
Yeah, I mean, this really wasn't. I mean, honestly and truly, he could have been. What is that? Oh my gosh. Like Bizarro Superman, where he meets Bizarro Superman, and he's everything Superman's not.
Hmm.
This could be the Bizarro world for Batman.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Just maybe.
honestly and truly, though, I mean, I found this to be fascinating. I think Victorian folklore, whether it was or not, it's a good story.
Victorian anything, okay? Clothes, houses, everything but the diseases and the lack of medicine was great, in my
Uh,
opinion. I love good period pieces.
okay, yeah, I do too.
I'll just
But
go back in time with, my dose of penicillin.
you're gonna need more than that.
Ooh, man. And some
Uh,
toilet paper, because who knows?
well, if anything, just make sure you take your own sponge, depending on how far you're going back.
Jesus. Absolutely. My own vinegar. Mhm.
Oh,
This is my sponge, don't touch it.
yeah, this is my terrarium. Don't touch it.
Get your own. You see how there's no bugs on it? This one's mine.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is really a terrifying episode at the end for sure.
If you would like to support this podcast, tell a friend and help get the word out.
If you would like to help us keep the show going, you can do so at Patreon. You can find the link in the show notes.
William and I want to thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
Join the Facebook group at Info on the Go
Share with us your show ideas.
or ask us a question.
Subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcast.
Send us a text using the link in the show notes or leave a review.
Leaving those reviews really helps others find us. You can also email us at,
Info on the Go podcast at gmail.com.
and yes, that is all one word. Till next time.
Stay curious.